What's up, guys? It's Leroy Jenkins here for another video, of course, a Police Sim NYC video, but more importantly, a story time video about the LASD SWAT team charging into a house, my boy. They went straight into a house, and that is about this story time, about my interaction with the LASD SWAT, or more of half lack of, half there was interaction. But basically, we had a barricaded suspect that was being barricaded since 4 in the morning. So that's when the initial deputies arrived on scene. And basically, after they arrived on scene, I guess they said more things in the call, because they arrived while they were still on the person was still on the phone with 911. And basically, I was not there at night. I was not there at 4 in the morning. It was, that was way before I got there. But basically, the initial deputies arrived on scene. It was a barricaded situation. So then they had to call in the SWAT team to come in and get that barricaded person out. And so then basically, how it went then was, I guess they called the SWAT team. This is all kind of like what I heard from the spectators, aka the people that got kind of like booted out of their house. Because like I said, it was an active crime scene. So they had to literally wake people up at 4 in the morning to get them out of their house, just in case that person decided to, do a couple stuff that they weren't supposed to do. They didn't get collateral damage. So basically, all those people were waiting outside. In addition, they closed off the street since 4 in the morning. Then the SWAT team basically kind of assembled. And I mean, when I say assembled, they didn't all come in like they do in those shows where they're all inside the SWAT van just ready to kick down the door. Oh no, they showed up like singularly in individual cars. All of them had unmarked unmarked cars, all of them, whether it was an unmarked Tahoe, unmarked Crown Vic, unmarked Explorer. All of them were unmarked. So then they arrived on scene basically, and then what else is there? They arrived on scene. They got behind the Bearcat. They I guess they kind of negotiated with them, and then they decided, hey, let's go on ahead and go in. So they went in, I'm assuming the first time. Either they went in the first time or somebody surrendered. I'm not sure about that point. But basically, they went in, and I know when I got there around like 8 o'clock, 8:30, maybe even 9. Basically, they already had one person in the car, and you may be asking, how do I know? How did I know there was a person in the car? Because I did not see them in the car. I'm going to tell you that right now. I did not see that they had the person in the car. Only reason I even knew was because I think it was like a sergeant, or like either a senior deputy or a sergeant, was on the phone with somebody else, either the captain or something like that. And they were talking about how they had one of the suspects in their car, and there was still another suspect that was in the house, I guess waiting and all that other stuff, still being barricaded. So basically, suspect number 1 was in that car. That was, I guess they weren't very much a threat, because that car was one of the perimeter cars. Like, let me show you right here. Basically, what they did was they blocked off, like pretend you're going down this way. They blocked off, let's see, okay. So here's how it works. Here's how it worked, all right? So let's say that, where is it? We'll say that this store right here is the little place that's getting the SWAT team barricaded. So basically, you would have all your Bearcats and stuff over here. They would block off this road. This road would be blocked off. They would block off that road would be blocked off. They would, of course, block off this road. They would block off this road. Where else would they go? They would block off this road. They would block off this road. And finally, they would block off like this little intersection. Like they would park up right here and block off like this whole little area basically. And that, I mean, when I say they made a nice crime scene and they gave themselves room, they gave themselves room. I mean, they had multiple streets blocked off that were not even right next to an adjacent. They had, they had area, bro. They had basically an entire housing section, I'm not going to say area code, but a big portion of just streets just blocked off so that the scene could be secure. And there was no, any chance of there being any, what's it called? I don't want to say fatalities, but I don't know. Other people getting injured. So then basically, they did all of that. They negotiated with the person. Then, of course, the SWAT team, basically, I'm assuming they went in. I think they went in like twice. First time they went in, they only went to like the living room. Then they backed off because they wanted to continue negotiating. So they kind of like went in, and it wasn't really going in as much as it was just peeking their head through the door. you know, throwing in a flashbang and all that, so on and so forth. And then I'm assuming they went in, the person surrendered at around like maybe like 9 o'clock, 9:30ish. And I guess I didn't really see them until like 9:45, but I guess they surrendered because people started leaving. The scene shrunk. So basically, remember how they closed off all these, basically all up and down this whole entire road would all be closed off? They only what's it called? Then they basically just moved the scene to basically, you know, pretend this is the place right here, right? They basically moved it so that this place was blocked off, this place was blocked off. Of course, you would block off this road across here, and then that road, and then basically that's about it. So basically they downsized the scene a whole lot, because that's how you know that, you know, stuff was pretty much okay and almost done at that point, because the scene got severely downsized. And then came the part that, you know, is on stream, which is first off, detectives and all the CSI people started getting on scene. In addition, there were regular officers. So basically, here's how it went first. First off, the people that left first were the SWAT, of course, because they're SWAT and they're cool and they have their own unmarked cars. They all left, and then the scene shrunk down a little bit. Then I'm assuming some of the people swapped out and the supervisors stayed. Half of them stayed, half of them probably left. And then, who else was left? Basically, the incoming officers were, it was basically like a one-to-one transfer. Like, pretend there's somebody parked up here with their, you know, patrol car. It's a sheriff's deputy. Then, you know, they basically leave out, and then immediately, by immediately I mean like 30 seconds, it's almost like it was planned, an unmarked car would just pull in that had like a detective or so on and so forth. One of those type of people, you know, the CSI people, forensic people, where basically, I mean, those things were a T, literally. The street is full of cop cars. So one car pulls out, another car immediately shoots in, takes up his spot. So yeah, that is, you know, how it went. But anyway, we can't forget about Leroy in the field. So Leroy in the field, tell them exactly how everything went down according to you, you know, in the field, Leroy. Alrighty, now what's going on, guys? It's Leroy Jenkins out in the field. Field reporter Leroy here with a barricaded suspect that the Los Angeles County Sheriff was able to take down. Absolutely amazing takedown. Of course, I couldn't see it because they blocked off literally every single avenue and street to get over here. However, I did see the SWAT team, and I'll hopefully be posting some pictures while I talk about it on the screen. We have an arriving deputy. What's up, my man? And all this is going on at this house here. Take one guy in, or a couple people in, because there was 2 people basically. Here's a SWAT van. Here's inside the SWAT van. Amazing. But yes, that is what Deputy or Reporter Leroy has to say in the field. Back to you, Leroy, in the studio. But wait a minute. Before I pick it on over back to Leroy in the studio, we gotta look at this final unmarked Explorer. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely amazing. Just absolutely everything you could ever want in a police car. Ooh, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they even have a vest in the seat. I think this might have been one of the only SWAT officers that actually stayed. The rest of them had unmarked Tahoes, and they were all gone for the most part as soon as the scene was over. But yeah, that's what we got. Back to you, Deputy Leroy. Leroy back in the field. Leroy, I don't know. Leroy in the studio. Alrighty, now thank you, Leroy in the field. And you know what else is great about the field? The end of this video. Let's go on ahead and head on over to the civilian team. I hope you guys are enjoying all the pictures that were up on the screen, because it took me a very long time to edit. But you know what else I like? I like this song. Loving it. But you know what else I love? The people wearing the Jenkins Patrol merch, if there is any. And I see the man, the myth, the legend, Marcelomi 19 out here wearing the Jenkins Patrol merch. Shout out to you, my boy, for wearing that wonderful Jenkins Patrol merch. And of course, we have this guy right here wearing the Jenkins Patrol merch. Logo is SLGO is cool 5124. Shout out to you, my boy, for wearing that wonderful, amazing Jenkins Patrol merch. And I think I got everybody that was wearing them. And thank you guys. If you guys also want to get a shout out for wearing the Jenkins Patrol merch, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with all your friends. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, or maybe even later today with a bonus video. All right. Bye, guys.